Okay. Default line MU. Okay. How about now? Yes, we're good, right? Hey, what's up, me? Okay. Yay. All right. I'm here. It's working. Yay. All right. I just updated Windows, you know, screwed everything up. Geez, you're so rude. Hello. Okay, let's see. So last we left off, we were making this ooh la la girl. Hey, hello. Sorry if I cannot read. I don't know if you're trying to speak French or not. Okay. So where we last left off, now looking at this again, I need to adjust some of these settings here. No audio? Do you guys have audio? You guys should have audio over on YouTube is a little laggy, so you'll get it. You'll get it here soon. like you can hear what I'm saying because it's lagging. It's good on Twitch. Okay, yeah, YouTube is lagged, so that's why. Anyway, I wanted to shrink these down and make them rounder instead of so rigid. So what are you working on, Worth? I think I want to... Hey, what's up, Mike Black? How are you doing? How you doing? Icons. I'm so jealous. Nice. Crease. You know what? I'm just going to try and uncrease all and see what it gets me. Oh, of course, my user interface is not working. Custom. There we go. There we go. All the icons. Uncrease all. Let's see how round it gets. There we go. Then I want to inflate this. Do I want to inflate this? Maybe on the inside. So how's everybody doing today on a Monday? Do you guys catch Iman that just came before me? Iman? I can't remember how to pronounce his name. He is awesome guy. Anyway, a lot of people from like the UK and stuff, they were complaining that they could never catch me live because I stream so late in the day, usually Tuesday nights. So I decided to stream a little earlier tonight. Today. It's noon my time, it's lunch. Hey, thanks so much. Matthias, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Let's see, deformation. I want to, let's inflate this. Whoa, why is it going that way? This must be inverted. I bet if we display, yep, I was right. Display properties flip. There we go. It's holiday in Canada. Oh wow, nice. Are you in Canada, Mike? Okay, let's see. Now let's try to inflate this. If you ever try to inflate something and it goes the wrong direction, most likely your normals are flipped. Oh wow, cool. I knew that, right? I know that. Now let's fix this. Come on, there we go. There seems to be some issues with the sole of this boot. Yes. These heels are fun. Okay. Did I Did I incorporate Sculptris? Let's see. I can't remember. I don't think so, not on this character, but I have on other characters in the past. Yeah, Sculptris Pro mode is, like I talked about last stream, it is great, but it's also dangerous for new sculptors because it allows you to get detailed really, really fast, and that can be tricky to navigate because you typically want to stay away from details as long as possible. Get your large volumes, your large shapes in place in the beginning, then work your way to details. And since it allows you to do details so quickly, it can be scary. Okay. I just need to look at this sole. It's kind of twisting. Yeah, flip normals. Well, flip normals has always been a thing since the dawn of 3D. Warbles is new from ZBrush, but flip normals, that's always been around. There's even a channel called Flip Normals of a couple guys that do some tutorials on YouTube. Their name of their channel is Flip Normals, which is very ingenious, if you ask me. I do have some warpity warp stuff happening, some warbles going on back here. What is happening? Okay. So I need to try, this is kind of tricky, I need to try and line this up with the sole of the shoe. Let's see, let's come down here. There we go. So I want to have them kind of overlapping a bit. For a website? Well, I think it's already taken. Flip Normals is already taken, I think, from those two dudes. They work in film, not games. I'm trying to remember their name, but they're from the UK. Look, Flip Normals on YouTube, you'll find them. And they do really great interviews and tutorials and stuff like that. I'm promoting them and I don't even know them because they're great. You've watched some of their videos? Cool. Okay, I want to I kind of want to straighten out some of these. Okay. Good old spotlight projection. I want to straighten out some of these edges and pinch them. Let's see. It's kind of weird streaming on a Monday afternoon or Monday. I'm not used to it yet. Gonna run a pinch right along the, so I'm working in low resolution geometry even though it looks high resolution, and pinch still works on low resolution. It just brings the geometry together to create a hard edge. Just want to kind of get that flat. And I do like to have my wires showing when I'm doing this sometimes, just so I can see how far the pinch is going, how much of that geometry it's. So I just have a little more control, I guess. And to see if I can, I try and follow the edge loops. If there are edge loops there to follow. Hi Shane, are you going to make dental to your model? Do you mean, am I going to add teeth? Yes, I will most likely add teeth. But not right away. I usually do that at the very end. And hello everybody, if you're catching me for the very first time, welcome, welcome. I've been doing this for a while, but I typically stream Tuesday nights at, what time is it? 8 p.m. Pacific or 7 p.m. Pacific? Something like that. I always mess up my times. I'm an artist, not a mathegician. It's funny because my dad is a CPA. He's all about numbers, and I'm the farthest thing from it. I guess I should say he's an accountant, not... A lot of people don't know what a CPA is. Certified Public Accountant. Certified Public Number Cruncher is essentially what... I apologize if this is kind of boring today. I'm in the polish phase. Polish. So I'm just trying to get this as clean as possible. I have people messaging me. Gotta ignore it. It's like texting and driving. Hemming Sanden and Morton. Oh, okay. Thanks for those names. Morton Yeager. Okay. Thank you. Hey, T. Marshall. What's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. It's kind of weird streaming. Like I said, it's kind of weird streaming on a Monday afternoon. So if you guys are catching me just now, thank you for joining me. I wanted to see if more people would have the time to... join my stream if I streamed earlier in the day. So shout out to me if this is the first time being able to catch me. Hey, what's up, Moonmix? If it's your first time catching me during the day. Alright. So Peter, Sean over at Facebook. Yes, it's actually live on Twitch, but we're also broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So, hello everybody. What's up, Shane Man? Shane Man, that's a cool name. Oh, I certainly don't have smaller numbers. I haven't even looked. Let's see. Can I see? Oh, yeah, between... Well, so it's weird because Restream chat. What's up, Rob? Yeah, right. Good to see you, man. Even in the virtual flesh. What's up, Dr. Zenith? It's about on par. Yeah, it's about the same. But I think different people are catching me, so that's cool. That's cool. And similar people like Rob and you. Okay, I'm going to add some thickness to these boots so they're not so paper thin here. Let's see. And I'm going to, gosh, you know what? I'm just going to do it how I usually do it. I was thinking about doing the Z Modeler brush and extruding a couple of these rows inward. But what that does is it creates some non-manifold geometry, which is not good. So what I typically do is I create a shell out of the entire boot. Then I delete the internal shell just past the lip as it goes down in there a little bit. Oh, hey, Mr. Cobblestone. Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for stopping by and spending your Monday lunchtime with me, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. So I think a lot of people in the US are actually having lunch around this time, or about to, or just getting done with lunch. So depending on which side of the US you are on. Okay, so this is all one poly group. Basically what... Oh, you just started my online course. Oh, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. And now, if you guys didn't notice, I have a new header up top. Check it out. That's the new ZBrushLIVE header for all the new streamers. And I also put my link to my website up top there, so you can check it out. And if you want to follow me on Twitch, I'm just twitch.tv/ShaneOlsonArt. You can find me there. I haven't been streaming to my own channel much, but I always plan to if I ever find the time. I'm just heavy in some contract work right now, so it's gonna be a little bit before I do that. Okay, so Z modeler brush. Let's extrude the polygroup all. Let's try that. And it's as simple as that. But what that did is it created an entire shell all the way inside. And I don't need it all the way inside. I just need it to about just down inside there. So let's turn on the loop and hide it like so. And this is what I usually do. It's kind of a trick. Is I will hide one loop, then I will turn on auto groups. And what that does, you can see, is it puts a new group on the inside of those boots. And then it'll also keep the rings, since they were hidden, it will keep them the same polygroup that they were before I hid them, which is that dark teal color. But you'll also notice that it does not keep symmetry between the groups. So Pradeep, hey, I do live in the USA. I do. I live in Utah. Okay, so if I want to get symmetry back between the polygroups, all I need to do is use mirror and weld. So I use mirror and weld, and now you can see both the boots are now yellow, and I do have that one stripe down there and then pink inside. So what I want to do is I want to hide the pink and the teal, and then just say delete hidden, and there you go. Now it only goes down inside so far. It doesn't go all the way down in there. And now she has... I kind of want to keep these... I typically go really hard-edged with things, but for her I want to keep things kind of hard-edged but soft at the same time. So I'm going to do the same thing with these. Where is mirror and weld in the menu? So not in my special menu. So in my pop-up menu in this user interface, it's right here. But you can get if you want a hint to where it is inside my like where it really is. If you look at the top, see how it says modify topology or polygroups or crease? I kept those titles in there so you can kind of figure out where they are in the real menu. So it's under modify topology, which is under geometry. So geometry, modify topology, and it's right there, mirror and weld. Boom. So there you go. Oh, thanks, Mike. Oh, you're talking to Worth. Yeah. Me too, man. I was rooting. Thanks, Roger 3D. Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness, this is really... Look at this. What is this? Looks like a impact zone of a car crash. Crunch, crunch. Do I do this on all my models? Delete the interfaces? Yes, I do, if it makes sense. So for boots, when they're as deep as those boots are, they go all the way down to her feet. Absolutely. And I will do it again on these gloves. So see how these gloves are capped off right now? I'm actually going to make them have some depth inside there. And if I was to make... Man, I need to fix her face. Squirrel moment. If I were to make this a manufacturable model, that I could actually use this upper arm as a key that keys down into this lower glove. And you can make the arm like a male key. And a key just means those slots and tabs that go together on manufactured toys. So I could actually make the arm a negative key and the glove a negative key and the arm a positive key and just hook them together. Okay. So let's see, over on Facebook, somebody was asking, oh, there's Peter as well. Hey. So Peter, I'm going to do my best. You know, it all depends on how much speaking I do versus working I do today. So I'm going to try to get as far as I can because, yeah, this is like the 3rd or 4th stream I've done with her. So Eric Omar, thanks for the comment. Is ZBrush able to export files for 3D printing? Yes, it is, actually. It will export if you go to, let me open this up. If you go to Z Plugins, you'll see this thing called 3D Print Hub right here. And this will export STL files. And most 3D printers will take an STL file. So I don't think I've ran into a printer that won't. But that is where you export it right there. So the answer to your question is yes. Okay, let's see. She looks like she has yellow boots right now. Okay, I want to add some support edges on these right here. So I can do this soft edges one of two ways. I can either use different crease levels or I can add support loops. And for these, I'm going to add support loops just so I have more control. And I'll show you what I mean by support loops. I'm just going to do an insert single edge loop. And is that what I want to do? Or I could extrude this poly group and it'll put edge loops kind of on the outside there. Whoa. I don't know why it did that. There we go. So now when I hit D, and if I uncrease it, so let's see, uncrease all, you'll see that it gets kind of a nicer bevel. So it's not a super duper crisp cut your eyes bevel. It's kind of softer, right? And over on YouTube, there's a question, how do I add multiple meshes in ZBrush? There are a lot of different ways to add different meshes. You can import OBJ objects. You can use insert multi-mesh brushes. You can start with base spheres and just keep adding more. There's a whole bunch of different ways to add. It's kind of a really broad question to answer all at once. But I hope that helps. Usually I use insert multi-mesh, which is right here. And you have all these primitives. And you can, that's my brush. If you want to go get my brushes, I give them away for free. And the web address is at the very top. It's called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you sign up for that, you get my free brushes and my user interface and that secret menu that I showed you. This one. So, okay. Am I going to pose it? Yes, I will pose this for sure. Hey, what's up, Pro? So Vetkin over on YouTube says, hello, do you use Sculptris Pro at all? You always work clean. Do you ever work from Chaos of Clay first? Yes, I do. So with Sculptris Pro, I will typically use it on a face or something with a little bit more detail, like nostrils or eyelashes or eyelids or things like that. That's when I'm starting to get into the higher detail levels. Sometimes I'll turn Sculptris Pro on and start to work through there. But I try and stay out of Sculptris Pro mode for as long as I possibly can. And Sculptris Pro is very, very good for experimenting. So if you want to experiment with some shapes and forms and things like that, it's a blast because it's actually the closest thing to real clay that you can get, in my opinion. So I will do some experimentation with that, and then you can retopologize it or Z-remesh it or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun to use for sure. Can I explain crease levels? Oh, thanks, Moonmix. Yeah, I can explain crease levels. So let me show you really quick. Let's go over to this. You'll also get this ruler file. If this ruler is meant for going back and forth between a program like Maya that uses meters, or it also is helpful for 3D printing. because it's in centimeters or millimeters, and you can use this ruler to export your stuff out. It's on the very top, Ron. It's just www.3dcharacterworkshop.com. It's the one on the, it's right above my head at the very top in the blue with the white letters. Okay, so if I turn on this, I can go get primitives from here as well. So you can do insert multi-mesh primitives from up here, and I'll show you how those work. If I grab one of these quad spheres and I drag, let's see, come on. Why you no drag? Oh, because I'm not in draw mode. Okay, there we go. Mickey Mouse. So I can choose any of these shapes and just add more meshes that way. I can just keep adding. I can choose these appendages and just keep adding. You know, that's typically how, if you watch some of my videos from the past, you'll see if you watch the first video that I made of when I was blocking out this character, you can see how I build her out of primitive shapes just like that. Okay, so there's the other way of getting to primitives is by hitting W on your keyboard to get into the gizmo mode. You can click on the gear, and then you can pick any of these primitives right here. And for creasing, I wanted to show you a poly cylinder here. Okay, so here's a poly cylinder, and it has kind of all these edges, and I can turn down the subdivision levels on this and on this. So the lengthwise and the circumference. I'm going to hide my ruler. Okay, so now we have this cylinder. Now I'm going to go back out of creation mode. I just click the gear and click back on Gizmo 3D right here. Now I'm back in this mode. And what I can do is I can crease these edges. And how I like to do that is in my menu, I have something called groups by normals right there. If you click on that, it's going to give polygroups by normals based on the angle of the faces. So it's set to like, I think 45 degrees and higher. It will make new polygroups. So you'll see it has a polygroup on the back and a polygroup on the front. Now, if I just hit D for dynamic subdivide, it's going to look ugly like this. That's not what we want, okay? Because that's no creases at all. So I want to crease this edge. And what I can do is I can go into my menu and say crease polygroups, crease PG. And what that does is it puts a crease in between my polygroups like that. Now if I dynamically subdivide it, it looks nice and clean like that. See that? It looks like a nice cylinder with crisp edges. But these edges are very, very sharp. So what if I wanted a softer edge? Well, I can go back into here, and I'm going to undo that crease add. Then what I can do is come over into my geometry menu, under crease, right here, and it has this thing called crease level, okay? And I can turn this crease level down to like a 2 or a 3. I'm going to put it at a 2. And what that says, it says, I'm going to hold the crease for the first 2 subdivision levels. Then I'm going to let go and I'm not going to crease it anymore. So if you apply the creases now, so crease by polygroup, it looks the same until you subdivide it enough times. So I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to subdivide it again. You'll see that's the 3rd level, and this is a quad sphere, so it's going to create some really kind of weird shapes when you subdivide it here. See that? It's going to create these pinched poles. So I guess maybe a cylinder is not the best thing to show you that on. Let's see. So let me do it with a cube instead. You can see it better. So I'm going to grab a polycube instead. I'm just going to take it down to like nothing. No subdivisions I'm not going to subdivide the interiors at all. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same thing and do groups by normals, and it's going to put a group on every single side. And then if I hit crease by polygroups, it's going to do the same thing. But when I subdivide it, it's going to start. See, it holds it till the third subdivision level and then drops it. And so now when I subdivide it, it's going to look nice and rounded like that. So if I want a tighter crease edge, what I can do is, before I crease it, I crank that to like a 4. Then I crease polygroups again, then subdivide that. You'll see it's crisp, crisp until there. Now it's a tighter bevel. See that? Much tighter bevel, but it's nice. It's nice and round. It's not super crispy. But you do get all this interior geometry. See this interior geometry? So another thing you can do, and I'm going to back out of that, is put in support loops. And how you do that is just go to your Z modeler, and then you can insert edge loops like this. So I'm just going to put a loop right up to that edge, and right up to that edge, and then right up to that edge, right there. Now if I hit D for dynamic subdivide, oh, do I have creases still on there? Yeah. Hold on a second. I need to turn my creases off so you can actually see it. There we go. So this side has support loops, and this side does not. So when I dynamically subdivide it, you can see what happens. So if I have support loops all around this edge, you can see, and the tighter I bring those in, the tighter that bevel is going to be. So I can also hit slide and edge loop complete, and I can slide these away from that edge. You kind of want to keep them even. Then if I hit dynamic, you can see that it's not quite as tight. Okay. So Pradeep, yeah, bevel works the same as support edges. Yeah, it's similar. It's very similar. So you can keep your support bevel information inside of a crease rather than by doing it by hand like this. But this way gives you more control, whereas doing it the bevel or with creases, it does not give you as much control, because like you can see, I actually stop it on the edges and things like that. So anyway, I hope that helps. Let's see. What's the easiest way to learn hard surface modeling in ZBrush? I'm not that big of a hard surface guy, so this is about as far as I get with my hard surface stuff. But there are great tutorials out there. There's a really good one on eat3d.com. That's a good one. Oh, you like it, Milika? How you doing? I hope you can catch me now. That's good. Thanks for the feedback. Have you ever seen an issue with subtool menu being removed when shrinking the user interface button size? Mr. Cobblestone, I have not seen that. I would actually maybe make a ticket and send it to Pixelogic if that's still the case. I have not seen that happen. You're talking about it just going away completely? That's, yeah, that sounds like a bug you might want to let them know about. That's awesome, Milika, and congrats on your art station. That's really cool. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Yeah, Mike Pavlovich has some great hard surface stuff too. So I would recommend catching him live if you can. Okay, so now we're going to get back into checking these out here. And I think I do want to slide these edges a bit. I'm going to slide these down and just kind of make them a little more beveled. I want to round these off. Yeah, hours and hours. Depending on how detailed your hair is. Sometimes it takes you longer to sculpt hair than it does to actually build the character, if the hair is just as detailed. What's up, Jadobex? How's it going? All right, let's see. Peter over at Facebook. I got a pretty strange question, but I know how you dudes are pro. UT is not relevant to your project, but do you know any software you can bake your AO map with a shader? But I want to create my own look and style of all my stuff. I edit this stuff in Photoshop, but would be nice to have an AO map that's already... So I actually bake all my maps currently using Marmoset Toolbag. So that it does a fantastic job of making ambient occlusion maps. So I would check that out if you want. Substance Painter does a pretty good job too. Maya does a good job. Even if you're looking for something that's free that you want to try, you can try XNormal. That does a pretty good job. The only problem with XNormal is you can't see a preview of what it's going to look like before you bake it. But yeah, you just load, but your low resolution mesh has to have UVs on it. And you can create those UVs within ZBrush if you'd like. It works just fine. Okay, just cleaning this up. Happened when you were messing with the user interface you got from 3D Character Workshop. So, Mr. Cobblestone, maybe... It was happening with the user interface you got from me? And are you using 2018? ZBrush 2018? Okay. Now I just want to make... I want to make this shoe just a little bit off of here. Hey, what's up, Video Nomad? I'm doing this for you, man. All the people that cannot catch me on Tuesday nights, I decided to switch up my stream time to Mondays when hopefully more people can catch me live. So where are you watching from? Yes, 2018. And you're saying your subtool menu disappears? Like it's not, is it just collapsing like this? Or is it like the word itself is missing from the list? Is that? Oh, Ukraine. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you could catch me. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Yeah, hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Sorry, Scott, I still haven't gotten you that PSD. I'm gonna try and get it to you soon. Peter, I bake out everything. I bake out my paint. Yes. So I do all of my color work, and this might be specific to me, but I typically do all of my color work inside of ZBrush with poly paint. Then I will bake out my color, my normals, even my spec. You can set up your spec inside of Marmoset, your reflections, all that stuff, and you just bake it all, and it's a really cool thing. And you guys, I do have an online workshop. For those of you just joining me today, if you didn't know, I teach an online workshop called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I actually teach you exactly how to bake everything inside of Marmoset for games. That's the final module. Hey, what's up, Dry Otter? How you doing, man? The word itself is listing... Okay. That's really bizarre. Sorry, Mr. Cobblestone. I don't know what to tell you with that. So you can... Okay. You can save it. Like, go up to Preferences and go to Config. Store Config right here and save it. Then hit Restore Custom UI and see if that brings it back. Sometimes that works. So sometimes my custom menu will not show up like this when I first start ZBrush, and sometimes I will have to go to Preferences and then Restore Custom UI, and that will bring my menu back without messing anything else up. So you might want to try that. What's up, Mortar? How you doing, man? Yep, Substance does a good job. So, well, I don't want to get into a I don't want to get into a software debate, but there's reasons why I like Marmoset. There's reasons why I like Substance. So that's all. I'll just leave it at that. But I will just tell you personally, I like to bake with marmoset. I've baked with both. Okay, sorry, I'm just polishing, I'm just tweaking, I'm just going little bits by little bits. Let's go ahead and add some thickness to these gloves really quick. I hope I have a ring of geometry through here. This has been Z remeshed. You can tell, you know, it's not the best geometry. But we'll we'll see if we have a ring here. I don't know if we will. Here we go, arms crossed, fingers crossed. Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of spiral happening here. Let's see if we go one more in. Ugh. Doesn't look like it. I'll use Painter for texture work, but not for baking my maps. Yeah, this is too... Jeez. Trying to decide what I want to do with these hands. And they're sausage hands anyway. I really need to clean them up. See, look at that. Sausage. I mean, the fingers are okay, but they're pretty on the sausage side. Let's shrink those up. Got some warbles over here. Is that driving you crazy, Moon Mix? Just put the dang belly button in. What's up, Craig Kelly? Welcome to the stream. Mauricio, it depends on how detailed the character is. It depends on how many textures and all that kind of stuff. Anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months. You know, it really depends on how detailed and how much textures and how much baking is involved, all that kind of stuff. So it really depends. The Disney Infinity characters were typically like 3 to 6 weeks, depending on how detailed they were. Mortar. Everybody's like, can you just finish what you started on the other streams, please? And then put a belly button in. That'd be great. Thanks. I'm hearing you, man. Craig Kelly, I'm doing great. Thanks. Yep, I do. I bake my... I don't like to talk about other software on the Pixelogic stream because it's a Pixelogic stream, ZBrush. So I will just drop little, you know, this is kind of what I use here and there for other things outside the you know, programs that ZBrush supports. So using poly paint and then baking it inside of Marmoset is a good thing, because that's kind of your natural pipeline, right? And then, you know, there's nothing wrong with baking in Substance. It's just that, honestly, it's a naming convention thing and a speed thing. Marmoset has these skew maps that you can paint that will fix things on the fly, and you can paint your envelopes distance on the fly. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you right now. That's why I do it. If your highs and your lows are named properly and you just drop it in there and you just bake it. Boom. 9 times out of 10 it just works. I don't like struggling with software, you know. I don't like it. So I like it to work. I like things to work. But I'm not even gonna say that word, video nomad. It's like a swear word. No. That's fine. Totally fine. Alright, wow, this hand on the inside is looking freaky. Freaky deaky. We need more of a thumb pad happening here. Whoops. What did I do? Yes, Mauricio, you're welcome. I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. There we go. Let's get some more of that thumb meat going on. And if you guys notice, there's a lot of times I don't use quote-unquote sculpting brushes to do things. I mostly use the move brush to push stuff around. It's kind of like using your thumb on real clay. Just kind of push it around with your thumb, you know. Hey Sebastian, how you doing, man? Over on Facebook. Which kind of characters do I like to model the most? Anything stylized, typically. I'm not a very realistic modeler. I like the challenge of stylized characters. Not okay. That's maybe a bad way of putting it, because realistic characters have their own sets of challenges, and that's basically not only you have to match the character, but you have to match the surface details too, and all of those teeny tiny details. But I think I like the challenge of just seeing what I can get away with design and cleanliness and silhouette and just sleek, clean, exaggerated, stylized characters. That's kind of what I like to do. That's my happy place. Okay, something is still bugging about this hand. All right, what is going on? Maybe it needs a thumb knuckle down here. That's helping. And then maybe the pinky is too high over here. And the pointer finger is too high over here. And it's also too fat. Sausage. So, you guys, hands are just as important as the rest of the character. I see a lot of my students just kind of go and put some fingers in really quick and just make them like whatever and then move on. And hands and feet are actually some of the most important parts, because they are, you know, hands are so expressive. And if they're not correct, it's kind of like looking at somebody's face. If their face is modeled off and it's not correct, you're going to notice right away. And with hands, same thing. You notice if they're not right away. It's just kind of a, I don't know, a sore spot. Let's see. Man, you guys, you're asking all tons of questions. That's great. Okay, let's see. Hey, what's up, John Doe? Yes, I'm streaming. This is my new time. I'm trying to get it so more people can catch me live. And this is the time I chose because I think it's around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. in the UK right now. And it's only kind of time for people to be sleeping in China, like that time zone right now. And I don't have a lot of followers in China. So I kind of picked the best time zone I could to catch as many people as I could based on what types of, where people follow me from. Yeah, so. Okay, yep, I use snake hook for certain. It has its place for sure. Pixologic guys don't mind, I believe, if they open Photoshop in the stream. Yeah. Photoshop, because it's not a competing package, right? I just don't, yeah, they just don't want me opening other sculpting modeling programs, you know. Okay, can I export all the subtools as a single mesh in Maya? There is a way to do that, but there's a plugin called GoZ, and you can set that up. Just do a search for GOZ space Maya. Do a search for that, and you can push your entire model over and bring it back with GoZ. But it has some issues with it as far as scale goes. If you start over in Maya and you push it over into ZBrush, your model is typically huge. And if you go from ZBrush over to Maya, it's sometimes small. So what I would do is I have this ruler. That's what I have this ruler for. See this ruler right here? This is a 2 meter tall ruler, or 120 centimeters or 200 millimeters. You can think of it that way. It's kind of a, since it's in metric, it's kind of a multi-use ruler. It is what you want it. It is what you want it to be. That sounds like a movie or something, right? But basically what I did, and I worked with Joseph Drust, he works at Pixelogic. I worked with him on this export. So if you can see, this export scale 100. And my ruler file is set to export scale 100 specifically to go back and forth between Maya. And you can either use FBX. So if you go over to the Z plugin, there is an FBX importer exporter, and it will typically work best with 2014, FBX 2014. Then you can export all visible and then bring it over into Maya, work on it there and export it back as an FBX and bring it back into here. It's not as easy to do as GoZ does, but it's a little more, what's the word for it? Predictable. It's a little more predictable as far as the size goes. But my favorite thing to do is to use OBJ. So export OBJ, and that's right here. So import and export as an OBJ. But I typically only do a part at a time. I don't do the entire character. Like say if I wanted to work on the shoes or the soles or something like that, and I needed to bring it over to Maya, I would just export it as an OBJ, bring it into Maya, work on it, and then save it as an OBJ again and bring it back. And using this ruler file, it will be the exact same size, both places, and it will be the size that ZBrush wants to work with it at. And over in Maya, if you have it set up to meters, it will be the size. This is 2 meters in Maya. This ruler is 2 meters. So it'll be the size that you need it to be in. Also, if you want to export a ton of OBJs, like all your subtools all at the same time, it's going to be kind of a mess, but you can do it. And what you do is you go to Z plugin, then you go to, what is it called? Subtool Master right here, Subtool Master. And then if you go to export right here, you can export all of your subtools all at once. So and that's going to make every single object will be its own file. So you can bring all of those OBJs all into Maya if you want, but it's kind of a nightmare to manage. That's why I only bring in and export a few at a time at max. So anyway, I hope that helps. 10 p.m., perfect time. Awesome. Let's see. You notice even you can't explain it. Oh, sweet. Team Europe. We need more followers to voice. Yeah. No, this is kind of Mordecai. This is kind of my new. I'm gonna try this new time for a while. So we'll see how it goes. Milica, I have not. I use it very, very sparingly. I don't use it too much because it's like I said before, it's kind of dangerous because it allows you to get very detailed very quickly. And with my workflow, you want to stay as simple as possible for as long as possible. And the details can come at the very, very, very end. So that's when I use it. I use Sculptris Pro at the very, very end or never, one of those two. But it's, like I said before, it's fantastic to experiment with. It's like traditional clay. So you can just get in there and just play with it, and it's really, really fun, and just experiment and go crazy with it. That's a lot of fun. And you can rebuild it. You know, you can rebuild a Sculptris Pro mesh fairly easily. So it's a lot of fun to do it that way. And I need to update my course to cover Sculptris Pro. I just haven't yet because I've been buried in contract work, but hopefully soon. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, Mesh Mixer's great. I use that to hollow out my models. It's pretty cool. Okay. I'm just trying to suck up every bit of info you named. I name drop Painter. Painter is fantastic for doing texture work, especially hard surface texture work like rust and metal and dust and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very nice for that. It's also nice for characters, for getting like kind of on the level of more realistic characters where they have like leather bits and metal bits and all that kind of stuff. It isn't necessary with a extremely stylized character like this, since it's all just, I mean, even the skin could be kind of the same material. It's very, very similar. The plastic is a little more shiny, but it's very similar. You don't need to get into that much texture detail with characters like this or characters from Disney Infinity. You know, you can do some hand-painted stuff, some gradient stuff, all sorts of things like that. And you don't necessarily need to go as far as Substance Painter. That's kind of the next level of detail if you're wanting to get into games like, you know, they use it for Uncharted and things like that when they get really crazy with textures. And then Substance essentially tries to make texture creation easier when it comes to stuff like that. So there, hope that answers your question. Okay, let's get back to it. I gotta make some progress here, guys. Okay, how do you put up the reference photo? You use Spotlight. So you just load the texture into here. So go to texture, load. Then if you just push this button right here, it's like the up and down button, then it will put it into Spotlight. You'll see this ring right here. Then you can manipulate the image with this ring and scale it up and down and move it around. So this image is just in Spotlight. Hey, what's up, Nuzzletops? Welcome, man. Yep, you got it. Stylized Space Channel 5, girl. Oh, you started. did your time zone just cross? Right on. Let's see. I tried resetting custom UIs and tried deleting your UI and copying it back. Unfortunately, no go. Okay, yeah. You might even have to reinstall ZBrush. I don't know what they'll have you do, but yeah, just I would say pick or send them a note and see if they can help you out there. That's really strange. It's bizarre. Oh yeah, Pradeep in India. Very cool. So you're right on the border of when people start going to sleep, right? You're at midnight, you said. And so, like I said, I picked kind of China to be the country that misses out on catching me live. that's kind of the best I could do. I tried to make it so as many people could watch me as possible, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. Okay. Yeah, no, right? Dougie, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm an answer guy. When I see questions, I gotta throw out the answers. Especially if I know the answers, I can't stay quiet about it. You caught me. You caught me. Well, that's honestly, that's a lot of reason why people come and watch me, so they can get their questions answered. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to create this microphone really quick. It should go pretty fast. So when I say should, it should go fast. Let's see. For this, I'm just going to append. Oh gosh, stop going away. I'll just append this. Whoa, look how big that guy is. Okay. I'm just gonna make a polysphere. Not there. There. Gotta make sure. So that's the thing, is when you make a new primitive from your Gizmo gear, you need to make sure that you have a subtool selected that you don't want to keep. So I just made a cylinder for no reason. I just made it just to make a new subtool. That's all I did. And then I can go into grab a polysphere. See how it changed that cylinder to a polysphere? It's going to delete it. It's going to erase it. So now this is kind of the speaking ball part of the microphone. Okay, and it's huge. So let's go back to Gizmo 3D, and then I'm going to make it really small. Then I'm going to go around to the back, and then grab my insert multi-mesh with a cylinder, and I don't know why it went too flat. Oh, that's why. Okay, so sometimes you need to go out and then come back, because it still thinks you want to replace whatever you just put in there with a new primitive object. Yep, see how I'm clicking and it's changing all of these things? Okay, so let's go out and come back. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Oh hold on a second. I'm trying to get it to release. Let go of that. Let's try and, did it let go? No. Okay, well, I'm going to duplicate it. It's making a cylinder for no reason. Yeah, GoZ will work if you don't have UVs. It'll still push the geometry over there. Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna force it in to do my bidding here. There we go. So I duplicated that sphere and then I just, you know, kept the cylinder. Okay, now we're in this interesting shape. And I don't know why I'm using a mouse. This it's a really weird microphone shape. Let's see. This is the old geometry from the game, the original game itself, so that's why it's looking really strange. So would you say me Q for edit, then use the insert? That's what I did. I don't know why it wasn't letting go. It's being really weird. It wasn't liking me. Okay, but thanks though. It's like an ice cream cone microphone. It might be too big. Something like that. Insert. Transpose. I'm just going to give you guys a play-by-play. I'm going to do a bevel on this guy. You guys. You're more productive at night? Yeah, but I was missing out on some fam stuff, you know, family stuff, so, and some shows. Like, it's gonna sound silly, but I like to watch The Voice here, and it comes on right when I was streaming. I do it complete. Let's see. Yep, I'm like, right, ADD crazy. Okay, and I'm going to put a support loop up here. So let's insert, not inflate, insert. Where are you? Gotta make sure I'm on an edge. There we go. Edge. Oh, come on. It's not wanting to grab an edge. Make my brush smaller, see if it'll work better. There we go. Let's do the same thing on the back side. Then I want to actually shrink this down. There we go. Microphone. I need to make this cylinder bigger though, so I can actually wrap some text around it. It's too skinny. Let's make it bigger. Make that ball kind of sitting in it, and I'm going to stretch that out too because it's kind of tall. So let's pull this out, and then I turn on symmetry, just kind of make it elongated. I want to turn on Y symmetry as well, so I can get symmetry on all sides. Looks like a fish. Let's see. Yeah, Nuzzle Tops, I'm glad, man. I'm glad you could join me. It's super cool. That's why I did it. Oh, Pradeep. Yeah, one of my friend's daughter was on The Voice. How did you know that? Did I say that before? Yeah. Yeah, so her name is Belle. And yeah, she was on The Voice a couple seasons ago. She's just local. Let's see. I kind of want to get a visual flow as if that cylinder wasn't there, just kind of going from one to the other here. I want to see ooh la la on The Voice. Yeah, so Babu the Sneak, yeah, it's I'm adding support edges, but so you can still do support edges, and then that would be your high resolution mesh, and you would bake it to a low resolution mesh. So yeah, you could still do that for sure. So right now I am creating the high. I'm not creating the game mesh at all right now. Okay. So here is a tip for you guys. If you want to eyedrop a color off of your spotlight image, and I think I said this last time, but for those of you who missed it, the eyedrop hotkey is C, the letter C. So if I try and eyedrop a color off of this image, it's not going to work unless I have this ring showing. And you make the ring show by hitting Z or Z to show up. Then, if you hit C, you can actually grab a color off of this image. So I'm wanting to grab this blue. Then hide that. Then fill it. Make sure I have my hard paint turned on. Then I want to grab this lighter blue color and then fill the rest of it. Boom. And this. Okay. Let's see. No. How can you tell my country from my name? Oh, Pradeep, I think your name is it does sound very Indian. No, yeah, like I said, no offense. One of my good friends is Sandeep. His name's Sandeep. So it's just, yeah, but I mean, he's from here, right? He's from the US. So, but his heritage originates from India. Oops, I need to merge these down. Merge. Merge down. And I'm just going to put this in her hand, sort of. Interesting that she's left-handed, eh? Let's make this a little bit bigger. And then I want to shorten that handle up. Let's do auto groups. Oh yeah, that too. You know, honestly, Pradeep, I'm glad that you're here, though, because I was worried that people in India were not going to be able to watch me live, because I was getting a lot of people from India watching me live when I was stream on Tuesday nights on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers were coming from India, and it was great. So I'm glad to see you here, man. Glad you could make it. Okay, I'm also going to do some support loops on this guy. Extrude poly loop. There we go. Let's see. How much time do you think to be a greatest artist in 3D? I don't know about great. I think you were trying to say a great artist. It depends. I've seen people take right to it if they have art skills already. if they're starting from no art skills, it's going to take you a lot longer. But if you actually have art skills, like if you know anatomy and you know drawing and painting, stuff like that, you'll have a much shorter learning time. But you know, I've personally, I've been at it for 18 years, 19 years now. So, and I'm still learning every single day. I'm not, you know, but I've seen people like my friend Guz from Brazil. I think he's only been doing it for like 3-4 years, something like that. And he is fantastic. He is fantastic. So it just depends on how fast you learn. But my biggest advice to you would be get started. The sooner you start, the quicker you'll learn. There you go. Words of advice of the day. It's Monday. Let's shrink this part just a little bit. And then push it in a little bit. There we go. That's better. Now I can get some of that label around the outside. Oh, hey, James. Oh, thank you so much. Flux capacitor. Oh, funny. Yep, because I forget what I'm doing when. So we all travel back in time. Yeah, 24/7 nature of the internet allows people to gain fans all over the place. Yeah, absolutely, regardless of time zones. I cannot believe how many followers I have just from all around the world. It's mind-blowing to me. It's absurd. I don't understand it, but I love it. I love it. I love it. We are growing up in glorious times. What a great time to be alive. There are some weird things going on too, but you know, the internet and the world's becoming a much smaller place. So I'm going to put a little another white band around this collar. And I want to use existing geometry. I'm actually going to use this edge loop right here. So I'm going to duplicate this top. Then I'm going to hide this. So I have just this ring and then delete hidden. Johnner, how's it going, man? That's actually fantastic advice. About 4 years to become a journeyman, and then you spend the rest of your career continuing to learn to get better. There you go. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. But thanks so much for the shout out, James. Appreciate it. Okay. So now that we have this, we can just extrude a poly loop. There we go. And then get rid of creasing. And there's our little band. I need to fill it with white. Sort of white. Let's see. Then let's inflate it. Hey, Moon Mix. Yeah, 1 second. Let's see, deformation, inflate. There we go. Kind of a fuzzy collar. Trying to decide if that's too big. I need to adjust her cheeks on her face. They're driving me crazy. She's got chipmunk cheeks. Let's pull those in. There we go. Not so chipmunky anymore. Okay, Moon Mix. Any tips for creating stylized fur? Fur can be difficult, but what I usually do, I usually use an alpha, like an alpha with fur, like different. If you look for ZBrush fur brushes out there, there's some that have a whole lineup of these alphas that have kind of these triple and secondary fur pieces. And if you're just doing surface fur that you're going to be 3D printing, that's what I would do. If you want a little more depth to them, then there are insert multi-mesh pieces of fur that you can use. Or if you're going to be taking it into game, I would suggest using cards with alpha. So like single plane polygon cards. So you can do it that way. And that's just a matter of just layering cards all the way up, all around on fur. Then there are, if you're going to go minimal, like stylized minimalistic, just put like little, it's usually a tuft of like 3 or 4 hairs, just kind of like on the elbow or on the top of the head. Just little tiny indications that it's furry without covering the entire body with fur. And those are easier to print. Those are easier to manufacture. Let's see. So my good friend Christopher Wright, he did solely for the Infinity. So Disney Infinity. I'm gonna show you. So he did hair. And just like this, I don't know if you can see that. Let me try and get a bigger one. So you can kind of just see there's an indication of it, like around his wrists, around his knees, around his chest, just little tiny hints. And that's just, you know, sculpted by hand. There you go. That's on the actual toy. That way it'll actually come out of a mold, you know, when it's being molded and pulled apart. So, realistic fur like this is more done for like film. You can get that look if you're doing cards inside of a video game. You can get kind of close, but it's not going to be the same. So hope that helps. Okay. Video Nomad, I can't really do critiques during chat because it wouldn't be fair to everybody else. But if you want to drop me a line, you can. And if I have time, I'll check it out. But adding some warbles. Yeah, just so yeah, I know which one you're talking about now. That little hamster guy. You can do it in just texture too if you want. And then you can just do like even little cards that blend in with the texture, like on the top of the head. If you are, you know, just to break the silhouette, put a couple cards on his elbow that kind of blends with the same texture, but it has alpha on it. So it looks like his whole body's covered with fur in texture, but then you have some breaking the silhouette stuff on like the elbows and the head and things like that. So anyway, yeah, Video Nomad, sorry about that. If you want to drop me a link, my email is shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com if you want to send it to me. I may or may not have time to get to it, so that's my disclaimer. I'm crazy busy these days, but you know, if I have time, I will. I'd be happy to. Okay. Somebody wants her to have. I'm gonna give her a belly button really fast. Somebody's begging. Okay, I'm gonna try this with the Z Modeler brush and a. I think it's called a split. Or, let me see if this works. There we go. All right, it's a little low. Yeah, it's a little low, but we'll see. And I put a crease on it too. Yay! You're like, please, please. Okay. Let's do crease. We don't need a crease on there. And let's make this more round. It's all square. Well, it's round in the actual thing, but you know, it's going from square to round. Let's do symmetry. Let's just pull these down. There we go. Let's close that up a little bit more. Yay. Belly button. Can you match that circle? Oh yeah, that's true. There's so many different ways of doing everything. Alvaro, I did not. I actually used I blocked her out. So if you watch, so Pixelogic records these and they put them up on YouTube. So if you do a search for Shane Olson ZBrush on YouTube, you'll find all of my past broadcasts. I typically will stream on Tuesday nights for Pixelogic at 8 o'clock my time. But you can find, so this is the third session I've done on this particular character, but if you go back, you can watch me block it out, and I use primitive shapes, because that's how I teach how to do these do it in my course. I have an online workshop. It's called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can find the URL up the top in the blue with the white text, and you can sign up for my newsletter and get my free brushes and user interface just for signing up. And I will let you know when my course becomes available again for enrollment. It's currently closed right now. I just finished up spring enrollment, but I'll be having another one. Oh, thanks, Mortar. Yeah, I've done several characters. I did a pirate girl while I was streaming on here. And I'm in the middle of making a cowboy with a dinosaur, but if I ever get back to him, and I like to just do one-off heads, so I'll just do like a head per stream if I can figure it out, if I can finish it in a stream length of time. So if I find a concept that I want to do, I'll typically do that. Okay, so I'm trying to get all three of these the same size. So you can see the white around the boots, the white around the skirt, and the white around this collar thing. But the white around the collar is pretty skinny, so I'm going to thicken that up. I'm going to save this though first. Block out 4. Hey Danny Mateo, how's it going? I just started learning ZBrush. It's been trying to make a model for a game. How much polygons should a game character contain? Because just my character's head contains 3.5 million polys. So you're essentially creating the high resolution version. If you want to make a game resolution character off of that, you need to retopologize it to be extremely low. So typically a game character will be anywhere, for the newest consoles, they'll be anywhere, depending on how many characters they want to be seen on screen at once, they'll be anywhere from like 8,000 to 40,000. That's about 40,000 is like the main character on the screen, like, you know, like the main character in Uncharted or God of War or something like that. And I mean, they might be pushing as high as like 50, but that's really on the high end. I think I read somewhere the Overwatch characters around 30,000. Now that's triangles, not polygons. So that's kind of where you want to be for cell phone games and mobile games, stuff like that. They go even lower. So like this Dreamcast character we're looking at right here, I would guess that she is maybe 1 to 2,000 triangles, and she could be as low as 800, depending. I don't know. So, oh, there you go. Thanks. was I even right? Am I even close, Mordecai? I could be completely off the mark. Okay, I'm gonna deflate this one and inflate the other one. Just to even these out. Oh, looks like this one is flipped too. Let's see. Display, flip. Okay. There's 70,000? Man, that's so high. How many characters on screen? If it's a fighting game, that makes sense. If there's only 2 characters on the screen. Only because you want them to be? Because you can afford it with the resources? Yeah, that's pretty high, man. I'm not gonna lie. That seems pretty on the upper end. Okay, I want these to be brighter, actually. Let's fill these with a brighter white. I want it, so I typically don't do anything bright white because it'll get lost, but oh, LODs, yeah. LODs help a lot. Okay, now let's make her microphone really quick. Microphone. So how do you guys think I would make this microphone? Any guesses? Let's see if you're right. So I currently have these headphones selected. I'm gonna grab the color just so it's already that color. Yeah, 80,000. That's like a movie. Even films don't use characters that high typically because they use subdivision levels. Okay, I'm gonna turn on transparency because basically I'm going to make this sphere go from the edge of her speaker thing, her ear cup, to her mouth. Because I'm basically making a surface, a temporary surface that I can draw on the surface of, or a space helmet. One of those two things. Okay, split unmasked points. I'm gonna go down. Now her head is a big blue sphere. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to turn off symmetry for a minute. Then I'm going to use my topology brush. And you'll see how quick this is. Turn on transparent just so I can see where her mouth is. Okay, let's clean that up. Straighten these out a little bit more. Okay, now I just want this single-sided. Whoops. Okay, single-sided. Here we go. Draw size 1, not intensity, draw size. There we go. Now it's a single-sided surface, and I can split unmasked points again. Go down, hide the sphere. Now I have my curvature leading to her mouth. And then I can just go in and adjust these and tweak it and make that bulbous microphone on the end there. Final Fantasy 15 characters, are you sure those aren't in the cinematics? I wouldn't think those were the in-game characters. Maybe they are, but that's pretty ridiculous if it is. And like the other guy said, they could be LODs. And you only see those on extreme close-ups. I kind of want this to get skinny through here, just so it's not a straight in, straight out, and then connected back here more, something like that. Okay. Hey, what's up, Juan Franco? How you doing? Because if you go too crazy, you're going to limit your audience. That's why I typically would suggest not to go crazy with your polygon counts. Even the biggest games like The Witcher 3, you still need to have either a way to scale so people on lower machines can still play it, or you need to limit your poly counts so people can play it. Either way, it's typically scalability, but... Okay, let's see. I'm going to extrude this in and then flip it. Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining. Ooh la la is right. I'm doing great, Juan. Thanks. Oh, you just saw my post. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to be finishing up my stream in about 20 minutes or so. Did you ever play this, Joe? You should, man. That's too much of a visual. I can see you doing that. Yeah, it's good. Dreamcast, right? Dreamcast. I loved her animations when she walked. Such an attitude. What the... Yeah, it's a really, really fun game. I'm going to put kind of a bevel on the back side of this. Bevel, bevel. Yeah, it was. Ulala was her name. Space Channel 5. She had different outfits and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing this for the Retrogasm competition. I'm not really to compete, but it just sounded like a lot of fun, and you know, this is a character I could do during the stream that wouldn't take forever. I say that with a forever because it is taking a little longer than I was hoping, but what can you do? Yeah, it is. As far as I know, it's only on Facebook. It's like Retrogasm art competition. They have a closed Facebook group. Yeah, that's absurd, John Doe. Hey, Peter Sean over on Facebook. Why do we triangulate the mesh anyhow? So typically game engines will just triangulate it. It just, so you don't feed it a model that has triangles, but the game engine will switch it to triangles, like on import or whatever, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why you count in triangles. It's just an easier way. I didn't explain that very well. Yeah, do you remember Typing of the Dead? That was one I played a lot. Typing of the Dead. Let's see. I'm going to see what this looks like if I uncrease it. That's not too bad. Let's inflate this. I think somebody's doing Parappa the Rapper. Is that Dreamcast only? Was Parappa Dreamcast only? I can't remember. Yeah, Power Stone, of course. It was great. So we actually made a Power Stone clone when I worked at Sapphire. It was called Barbarian. It was a game for the Nintendo 64, and it was essentially Power Stone, just with a different wrapper on it. Parappa. I think Parappa was on Dreamcast too, wasn't it? Maybe not. Yeah, yeah, you guys are right. Same time though, same kind of era. What do you think, Joe? Is she looking all right? I still need to mess with her head, her face, and these pigtails. A little too high. Need to lower these guys. A little too crazy. I need to get rid of the blockout ones though. Let's see. They look like soft serve ice cream. Seems wide at the chin. Oh yeah, you're right. Like right in here. Like right by the mouth. Yeah, and the eye shape's a little off too. I need to tilt them a little more, right? Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I did the face a while ago, and then I'm just coming back to revisit it. And she looks weird from this angle. Like her lips are sticking out too far or something like that. I don't know what's going on. And then bald head, of course, in the back. Why not? Let's turn that back on. Kick, punch. It's all in the mind. Oh, maybe it's her upper lip underneath her nose. That's doing it. Gosh, dang it. Joe. And right here. It's crazy how you start seeing all these things when you really start to look at it. That's the valley of the suck happening. I need to fix it. No, it's good, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But it's just like, it's one of those things, you know, one thing leads to another. It's like, oh, now I gotta fix this. Oh, crap. Now I gotta fix this. Oh. Build up her cheekbones. I lost her cheeks. Yep. Let's build it up, break it down. Like that dwarf on Team Fortress. Build them up, break them down. That's essentially what I'm doing every time. I just so like with the cheeks, I'll usually like get a pinch brush and I'll do that cheek build up so it looks really ugly and then smooth it back down to get that plane change, you know? Too much. I did it too much. Too much pinch though on that one. Let's turn it down. Do you do that, Joe, too? Or do you do a slow build up? No, I'm talking about does the dwarf say that in Overwatch? Gosh dang it. It was the engineer. I'm thinking the engineer. That was turret going up or something like that. What does he say? But yeah, the dwarf, you're right. The dwarf says build them up, break them down or something like that. Yep. Blizzard's going to come to my door. People were calling Drax Kratos, the Drax that I made for Disney Infinity, because he has like tattoos and stuff on him. I could see that. Let's get her eyelashes up higher. He doesn't not look like Kratos. Are you talking about the new God of War, or are you talking about the comparison with Drax? I think you're talking about the new one, right? Not so big of eyelids. Ugh. We're in the tweaking phase, kids. Right. With whitish skin, ash skin. I'm holding my breath while I'm doing this stuff. Yeah, playing God of War. I keep calling my kids, "Hey, boy. Get over here, boy." They're like, "What, Dad? Why are you calling me boy?" And then they hop on my enemies and shoot them in the face with a bow. Good job, boy. Oh, I didn't have symmetry on. Oh, Seaman. Oh, I forgot about Seaman. With the microphone and you talk to him. That was such a creepy game. Such a creepy game. Oh my goodness, Seaman. Who came up with that thing? So weird. 8K? Yes. I will typically author at 4K. Sometimes I'll author at 8K, but it depends on if it's the main character or not. But 8K is quite high. Boy. I don't know if I want to click on it. There you go. Types of headaches. Nice, boy. That's pretty good. Let's see. Peter Sean, what are you saying? Shane, any tips on making character for an isometric game? Shapes, colors, besides clean lines? Yes. So for an isometric game, an isometric is essentially like a 3/4 top-down view game. The Blizzard team that worked on Heroes of the Storm actually had a very good talk on this at ZBrush Summit. I think it was 2 years ago, or was it last year? And they talked about making your characters more exaggerated and more detailed at the top because that's what you see more. And they would try and make things like a pyramid, you know, so they would cheat perspective, and a lot of it had more to do with the environments than the characters, but they would have a lot of pyramidal shape objects in their environment, so you could see the whole thing. If everything was at a 90-degree angle and you were looking down from the top, it's like you know, you'd lose a lot of that detail and you wouldn't be able to see it. So like if you look at Riot characters from League of Legends, a lot of them have a lot of detail up on their shoulders. They have big head dresses and things like that, and you know, or long bodies, stuff like that. Just you want to get more detail on the higher end, meaning the upper end of those characters. So if that helps at all. All right. What? Oh, you were gonna fix my Drax to make him look like Kratos? Nice. A different species. That's fun. Boy. Make Drax say boy. Hey, what's up, Gary? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. I'll be streaming for another 15 minutes or so. I'm just trying to make her face a little more appealing, a little closer to the original, which I think I'm failing at right now. But everybody has to go through the valley of the suck sometimes. That should be a song, a country song or something. REM song. That's what I'm doing, Joe. Wax on, wax off. Just got to keep at it till it looks shiny. Oh, a 5-eyed dog. What are you doing? Just some freelance stuff? Man, sounds crazy. Oh, hey Thabata. How's it going? I don't know how to say your name correctly. Sorry. Doing my 3D character workshop. Awesome. Welcome. More realistic, but unfortunately I do the head details before I do the body, and now I don't know how to merge the topology without losing details. Yeah, that's kind of tricky, but you can use project all. I believe I go through it in the course where you duplicate your mesh. Then with the new duplicated mesh, you can do a Dynamesh or a ZRemesh, and then subdivide it up to the level that you need. And then you can project all of your detail from the old one to the new one. Or you can even do that by doing retopology and then subdividing. Sorry if I'm kind of getting too much too technical for you, but you can retopologize your face, then subdivide it up to have enough geometry to hold the detail. Then you can do a project all to that new geometry, if that helps at all. And it will also project polypaint and everything like that too. So I think I talk about that in the course. If I don't, let me know. Let's see. James Clayton, I don't know, Abe. That's a great character, but probably not. I need to do characters that... I typically don't do models of characters that have been modeled before. This one is an exception because it's such an old model, and the whole idea is to bring it up to, you know, what would this character look like in a game of today. So that's why I'm doing it for this one, but when will I... you guys, when will I ever finish my cowboy? If I can finish this one, I'll get back to my cowboy. How's that? Yeah, there's your answer. So as soon as I finish this model, I'll do the cowboy again, because I really want to have that cowboy ready for 3D print for the ZBrush Summit this year. That's my goal for that character, is to have it, because I want to print it out so the dinosaur is about, I don't know, so a couple feet long and he's riding it. That'd be awesome. So Tom, do I use Marvelous Designer for clothing? I have in the past, but I'm not going to for this character because she is so simple. So, but yes, I have in the past for sure. Just do it. Valen, I will. I will. I'll get back to it as soon as this character's done. I will. Yep. Have you ever tried to sculpt something with the detail that can be found in the Final Fantasy? I have not. That's something I've not attempted that much detail before. And honestly, the amount of detail a character has is kind of proportional to the amount of time you have to put into it. And for me, I do not have that much time, honestly. If it was my 24/7 job and that's what I was doing for a living, I would have time. But right now, my daytime job is my 3D character workshop. So that's where I spend most of my time these days. And if you guys want to know about that, you can see on the very, very top of this stream, 3dcharacterworkshop.com is the website. And if you want these brushes in my user interface, I give them away for free. So if you haven't got them yet, go grab them. And I will also send you some information about my online course if you're interested. I'm going to shrink these. I know she has really wide shoulders, but man, it's kind of bugging how wide they are. There we go. That's part of updating her to the new console, right? Is updating her proportions. Doing another Josh Blackhead next week. I was on a roll there for a while, wasn't I? Doing Josh Blackheads. They're so much fun, though. They're so much fun, and I can get them. I can get them in. I can get them done in a stream or two. So that's why I like them so much. Where can I find your course? So currently it is closed for enrollment, but I open it a couple times during the year because I can't be overwhelmed with too many students at once. So I will open the floodgates, as it were, every so often. I just barely finished up the spring enrollment a couple weeks ago. So just get on my newsletter and you will be informed when the next enrollment period becomes available. So so there aren't any direct links to the course right on the front page of my website. I'm working on a video that shows you and tells you more about it so you can have more information about it. But again, it's just another thing I got to get done. So I want these to go straight across. There we go. Okay, I still am not happy with her face looking like the actual character. So I'm going to work on that a little bit more. I mean, I think she's okay and she's sort of appealing, but she doesn't have the... She's not matching the look. The likeness isn't there. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Close. And I'm going to actually make her lower eyelashes here. Man, I'm ruining her eyes. Stop it. this when I'm focusing and polishing, that's when it becomes really difficult to talk to you guys and answer questions. So I apologize. Okay. Hey Velen, I've actually thought about it. I thought about releasing the models for purchase, maybe like garage kits or something that you can put together and paint yourself. I have thought about that. I did a Pirate Girl a while ago. I don't know if you saw that. But here, let me why do I have draw? Let me save this out. And I can show you the Pirate Girl. You probably have seen it. There's see, the cowboy's not too far back. There's all the Josh heads. Let's see. I don't know if this is the Pirate Girl or not. We'll have to see what. It's probably something. Oh, this is the printed version of her. So this is her all meshed together and in pieces. So if I actually move her arm off, she's got keys. See that key right there? And this piece keys into that. And you can see the key down in there. Right there. So you can put it together. And I do plan on doing the same kind of key setup with the cowboy. And so you can maybe buy him in pieces and put him together for yourself. We'll see. See how much time I have to do that. Thanks guys. So let me show you her finished if I can find it. Ready for retop. Let's see. Let me load this one up too. It's a big one, so this is probably it. There we go. So there she is with color. And so they printed her out for the ZBrush Summit last year, and it was incredible. So let me show you. Let me go to full. Let's go full stream, full cam here. All right. And here she is. Here she is printed out. Look how big they printed her. Boom. Huge. She's bigger than my hand. Yeah. So I'll just set her right there so she can be kind of in the looking at you guys. So let's see. I can't find the price for your course. Do I have to register first? No, I don't really tell you the price of the course until it is actually time to enroll, because there is a good possibility that the price will change. And I don't want to say what it is on the stream or anything like that, because people will be watching the stream back and they're like, hey, you said it was this much, and now it's this much. So, and I'm constantly adding new content all the time. And when I get my next big ton of content implemented, I'm probably going to raise the price. So it's best to get in sooner. And it is lifetime access, 30-day money-back guarantee, all that kind of jazz. So. All right, should I be looking at how all my figures and the like are assembled if I want to be able to make your own someday? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, so in my course I don't get into how to model for manufacturing, but I do get into how to model for 3D printing. Yeah, just get on that newsletter and you'll be notified for sure. Thank you very much, by the way. And I try not to send out too many emails, because personally I hate a ton of advertising emails and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to start sending out emails doing student spotlights. So students of mine, I will be, it's kind of like my top row, as it were, and I'll be sending out emails occasionally, maybe once a week, showing some of the students' work and what they've done, because I really want to see I really want to showcase their work, because they've done amazing, amazing stuff. Okay, let's see. Hey Tom, so I take do PayPal. So if you can have access to PayPal, you can. I take PayPal. Otherwise, it's just a regular credit card of some sort, which goes through Stripe. Yeah, that's typically people from other countries. They just use PayPal. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. I'm going to make some. Okay, I need to duplicate this head and get rid of the subdivision levels. Boom, boom. Yeah, it's probably too long for sure. Like Joe said, her head is kind of big. I might shrink it down and then drop it a little bit so her neck isn't so long. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. I'm going to be wrapping this up pretty soon here. Whoa. When I do this stuff, I typically make it bigger than I need it, as far as like this geometry. And then I'll shrink it down. There we go. Clean it up. Draw size 1, tap on the surface. Then let's see if I can do this. Solo. Delete hidden. Okay, awesome. Dante, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'd love to see you in there. And like I said, I'm updating it all the time. In fact, I've been doing some contract work lately just so I can learn different pipelines so then I can teach it to you guys. But the pipeline I'm learning is very similar to the one I already teach in the class. There's with very few differences, so should be cool. Okay, let's fill this object with black and extrude it. Okay. Thanks, James. Yeah, that's mine. Mine only. I guess that helps a little bit. I might lighten that up just color-wise. It's a little dark. Let's go a lighter gray with it. Whoa. Too fast. Okay. That's not too bad. A little better. Hey Pradeep, what? I don't understand that question, sorry. Do I offer a loan? Like what? I'm sorry, what do you mean by that question? I only have one course, if that's what you're asking. And I do have a 2-payment thing, but okay. I think I need to make her forehead a little bit bigger and her eyes a little bit smaller. I've exaggerated those a little too much. Pay in installments. Yeah, like I only do either a single payment or 2 payments. I may be doing 3 in the future, but not yet. Because it's kind of a management nightmare. Oh, fair. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do I know him? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I'm not used to seeing his name spelled out. I'm only used to listening to how it's pronounced. So yes, I do, and he's amazing. He's amazing, and he is honestly the man behind this. So yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Now I feel stupid. Yeah, you know. Hey. Yeah, yeah. I see him. He's at the ZBrush Summit every single year that he can make it. So far he's been there. Yeah, fabulous, fabulous dude. Anyway, yeah, so fair. Okay. Yeah, that depends on how much work you're willing to put in. Because it's like anything, it just takes practice, you know, like learning the guitar or learning how to sing or whatever, you know, learning to paint. It just takes practice. Okay, I'm still not happy with that face. We'll have to figure it out later. But anyway, you guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Let me know in the well, I don't know in the comments, but let me know. No worries, Party. No worries. I just missed it because like I said, I'm not used to seeing it written out. Anyway, I will be streaming on Mondays from now on. So I really like this time, and it looks like more of you are able to watch me live, which is cool. So I think I'm going to be making this my new stream time. So thanks everybody for joining me today. And again, if you want to do a trial of ZBrush, there is a link to try a trial of it down below. And there's also ZBrush Core, that is a lighter version of ZBrush that you can get for much cheaper than the full version if you want to just try it. And you can also upgrade from ZBrush Core to the ZBrush Full and put the cost of it towards the cost of the full price. It's a really cool deal. It's a lot of fun, and they've teamed up with Wacom. If you don't have a tablet yet, they make a bundle. And there's also, don't forget, there's the magic wheelchair thing going on. So anytime you open up ZBrush for the first time and there's a thing that pops up, it talks about magic wheelchair. And that's MWC, so magicwheelchair.com, or pixelogic.com/magic wheelchair. And it's cool because you can make an actual, it's like a cover to a wheelchair that if they choose your design, some lucky kid will be able to like get it manufactured and made for him and wear it as cosplay to Comic-Con. Super cool thing they're doing, so check that out if you can. Anyway, thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you all next Monday. Take care for now. See you.